Good morning, Star Scholars. I'm sorry I forgot to read you another mini biography yesterday morning. I've got one for you today. Speaking of biographies, today in reading, you guys are going to read another text about Duke Ellington. And you're going to synthesize, which means take information from two sources about one subtopic and combine the information from two sources. And the subtopics are Duke Ellington's childhood, his adulthood, and his accomplishments. Excellent work yesterday. Almost all of you turned in your reading and did a really spectacular job. I'm so proud of you. Today, when you're doing that synthesizing, you're going to need to look at Tuesday's assignment in Google Classroom to find Tuesday's notes because you're going to be adding to those notes. Okay, so there's not a new assignment for you to type on because you're adding to your assignment yesterday. That's something we used to do all the time in the classroom, right? Like pick up something we'd already been working on and add to it. We haven't done that so much on the computer, but we're going to do it today. Okay? All right. So today's mini biography is from Little Kid's First Big Book of Who. And it's kind of hard for me to hold this up because the camera looks backwards to me. So that's why I'm always going like this to try to line it up. But at any rate, today we're going to read about Mohandas Gandhi. Even though Gandhi's first name was Mohandas, followers called him Mahatma, which means great soul. So some facts. He was a lawyer and an activist. Remember, an activist is someone who fights for equality, fights for social justice, fights for change. He was born October 2nd, 1869 in India, and he died January 30th, 1948. Why he's important? He was the leader of India's struggle for independence. He also created peaceful ways to protest unfair laws. So if you were doing notes about Gandhi, this would be his greatest accomplishment, okay? All right, India was ruled by England for almost 200 years. That means India did not make the laws for its own people. Those laws came from England. Mohandas Gandhi didn't think that was right. There we go. Gandhi wanted all people to be treated equally. He wanted India to be free of British rule. He knew that violence would lead to people getting hurt. He decided to create a way to protest peacefully. Followers led by Gandhi would simply sit and wait for officials to change their minds. They showed no anger. They didn't fight back if attacked. They did not use bad language. To show their determination, they fasted. This means they refused to eat and to drink for a long period of time. An important quote from Gandhi is an eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. So maybe think about what does that mean in the context of what we just learned about his life's work was. Gandhi is leading a protest march in 1930. With the help of Gandhi's nonviolent movement, India broke free from England. The country declared independence in 1947. Gandhi lived to see India's independence. But the following year, Gandhi was assassinated by a man who didn't agree with his beliefs. Gandhi's peaceful ways are still admired and copied by people around the world trying to bring about change. In the United States, they were very important in the civil rights movement. Here's Gandhi spinning fiber in 1925. Here's some maps. Here's British India, and then India after independence. You can kind of see how the map changed a little bit. And the future depends on what you do today. That's another quote from Gandhi. He's a really important person in the history of the world and the history of people who are activists, who are fighting for change. We've read about a lot of activists this year, and we're going to continue reading about them in our biography unit. Okay, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the Zoom.